Guys, if you've ever experienced any financial hardship, this episode is for you. Imagine one of the biggest fitness gurus in the world being Susan Powter, making $200 million a year to literally now driving Uber. But guess what? She's back. And this is a story about resiliency and, more importantly, making sure you keep going. Now, guys, let's actually listen to her story and we'll see exactly how she plans to get all that money back after experiencing financial hardship. All right, so one of my greatest sayings in the world is that health is wealth. And talking to you, Susan, literally need no introduction, right? One of the biggest fitness gurus. And so when we talk health is wealth, clearly you've helped millions when it comes to health. And now, believe it or not, you're in a position to actually help millions when it comes to your actual wealth journey. And so the reason I bring that up is let's actually talk about where you are now. And let's talk about you actually walking into your new purpose. The authenticity sales, not all the other stuff. You can't just make up something in the lab. It's like people are buying you, buying, your story. And so Stop the Insanity made over 270 million in the first year.
This thing.
Let's talk about how that happened.
A couple of years ago, a filmmaker contacted me. Turns out that a movie, yes, and Jamie Lee Curtis, executive producer and all that, the story has been written. I wrote it in my new book because people don't know how it happened. And it happened, and everybody, they used to come up to me after, the third year in. I mean, I have 3 New York Times bestsellers, 7 books, 9 platinum video, blah, blah, blah. Back in the day. It was the most unlikely thing on earth. And the way it happened was literally I teach exercise and I had a little studio and I'm struggling like everyone who is struggling. Talk about money, not a good business, the exercise studio business. I mean, you got to get people in the door, blah, 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 memberships, 3-month memberships. I was running the whole thing. It got a little bit of local press because I was doing a class called New to Fit. And back in the night, that was the late 80s, early 90s, nobody was teaching obese people. Well, I was obese. So I was like, the fit people can stand. And my classes were, and are phenomenal. Like, I'm a damn good, I could make you sweat blood, kid. I could. They were good, and it's real. It wasn't like what was going on in the aerobic industry, so it could have been a big fail. What happened was it got a little bit of local press because I was doing a New to Fit class. Well, then it got national attention, and I got a call to do the home show, which was an ABC Live national show. So the story is really interesting because it broke records. I broke every rule in daytime TV talk. I completely ignored Gary Collins. I looked through the camera and said, listen to me, you can modify. Anybody can be fit. I don't care if you got 100 pounds to burn. Your body, you can modify, and fitness is forever. And I just, boom. Then I walked away, never thinking. And then Simon & Schuster called, $2 million first book, $2 million without a word on paper, unheard of. And I didn't even graduate from high school. They said, can you write a book? I was like, yeah. And here's what's interesting about all this is my book that I have now, it's been 30 years. It's been 30 years. I called that original editor, Bob Osahina, who was my original editor, who said, we're signing her now. We're signing her. No, it was crazy. Then Time Warner came with the videos. But my book now, I called him 30 years later, and he's the editor of this book now. And then, of course, when the money starts being made, all the math. Here's what I was up against in the 90s. You want to talk about money? Time Warner was the video company. Simon & Schuster was my publishing company. Multimedia was my TV show. Netstar was my radio show. They were monster corporations back then. And when it starts generating, they were spending on the infomercial, the first one, they were spending $1 million a week on media time, which means they were generating 50 million. They don't spend it. It blew the roof off because it was authentic, because it was the truth, because I wasn't trying to inspire people. I never came from it in that. I just, and all the industries came in, but the world has changed, which is why I'm thrilled to be here. My idea of heaven is the internet. My idea of heaven is being able to see the analytics right away, because I learned from mistakes made. And a lot of people made a lot of money. And that's what happened. I found out that horrible things were happening with the money I was generating. And I fired everyone in one paragraph. And I had another baby, 40, and I moved and I left everything. I left. Yep.
I would love to kind of dissect, because this is obviously what your book is about, kind of the financial hardships and obviously your story, but can we actually break that down, right? You said
Yeah.
it was a lot of money being generated. A
Yep.
lot of hands technically were in the pot. Kind of what was your revenue split like? Like how much ownership did you
It's not a
yourself
split.
retain?
That's not what happened. What did it take in the 90s to run that level of success?
Yes.
We're not talking about just a book. Here's what it took. You ready? There were managers, plural. There were agents, plural. There were 14 lawyers at one point. 14 lawyers. Litigious and the 90s are synonymous. They are synonymous. Everybody sued, but not me. Every corporate, everybody, somebody sued. It's what it took to run that. And it wasn't uncommon at all. It's not uncommon. It's not little lady didn't handle her money. It's not uncommon for a lot of people who are generating that level of in all different arenas to look up and find out that management it's not working right. Wait a minute. There was also, and that's why there is a whole movie that's what the movie is about, produced by Jamie Lee Curtis, directed by Zebra Newman. I found out a million things. I found out my last legal bill was $6.5 million.
Wow.
What? There were 14 lawyers. It was there was everything. And the travel, you had to actually go. We couldn't interview like this. You had to go to New York. You had to stay at the hotel for a week and a half. You had to meet with Time Warner I found out that I was the one funding all that. So, and that's why the movie was interesting to be made. He didn't make a movie about me. He didn't make a movie about it behind the scenes. That's why I'm so proud of it. It's a story of you'll see. That's what it's about.
I can't wait.
And
I can't wait.
I left because it broke my heart that people that were making millions a month were padding bill it was like, what?
Yeah.
And I just left. I left.
When you're in a position like that, and to give you an idea, like I've interviewed a decent amount. I talked with a lot of athletes. I've had Antoine Walker on here, who famously made over $200 million and obviously experienced his own financial hardships. And now he's talking to other athletes and kind of helping them avoid his mistakes and pitfalls. But when you're talking about having bills like that, and you told me kind of all the people you were actually, employing, from agents to managers as well as lawyers.
You have no idea.
Did you have accountants and financial advisors at the time? I want to pinpoint kind of where.
Here it is. I made one very big mistake. Two very big mistakes. Not because I'm an idiot. Now, and you just said it. Forget the athlete, MC Hammer. We could keep going on and on.
Oh, yeah.
When tons of people have found out, who was it whose brother stole? Whatever. And then that's a whole other thing, but not even the point. I made two very big mistakes. Number one, I didn't, because I couldn't. I couldn't call Time Warner and say, I want to see the numbers. It was the 90s, number one. Number two, the second mistake I made was fatal for me financially. I assumed, which was an incorrect assumption, that the people I was paying mightily, their salaries were huge, that they were doing their job. That is an incorrect assumption in business, period. Now, there is no blame. No. I take full responsibility. I didn't check the bank account. I didn't check. I assumed all of the accountants, did I mention 14 lawyers at one point? All of the agents, that I just made the mistake of assuming they were doing their job. And what I'd like to say, as a woman in finance and running a business and the only revenue generator, the one doing all the work. Nobody wrote my books. I did. Nobody ever did a video. I did. Nobody wrote a speech for me. I did. I was working like a racehorse. No man that was sitting in the boardroom when we were signing those $1 million deals, they were going home to their mistress. They were not going home and running the family. I'm not kidding, and I'm right. Did you see what I'm saying? No. So it wasn't because I didn't keep track. It was a monster hit. My schedule was ridiculous. Loved every minute of it. Totally capable, can do it. I wasn't a fool. I just made two very big mistakes, and they affected me greatly in life later. As you get older, when the infrastructure, you are a financial guy. You don't have credit at all because they filed a bankruptcy, had nothing to do with me. It was a corporate bankruptcy, but guess who that affected for 25 years? No credit at all. What kind of management is that? No property, nothing invested, no royalties from anything I got before. That's all real. People don't know that.
When we talk about athletes, right? Like you literally have within 3-5 years of them leaving the NFL, about 80% are gonna experience some type of financial hardship, right? 70% of
Yes.
lottery winners end up going
Yes.
bankrupt as well, right?
Yes.
And the few of the things that boil down is like they're living beyond their means and they're overspending.
I never did that
And
ever.
that
Never had an entourage.
exactly. And so that's my point, right? It sounds as though, right, your story isn't necessarily the fact of like, oh, I got 5 vacation homes, and then when the money starts to come out, I can't do this bill. Yours were purely just hidden expenses, litigious expenses, and things that you didn't know.
Well, it
And
was
so if
a
you're talking,
short period of time, like an athlete, but their career is much longer. It was a 4 or 5, like it was gangbusters. And then all of a sudden the teams get bigger. And you can't, like I will say to everyone listening, to assume that people that you pay a ton of money to be experts, to assume they're doing their job is an incorrect assumption. It will never happen again in my life, ever. But this day and age is more transparent. It's easier. You can't, it's hard to screw. I mean, what are you going to do now? I'll just get online and say, hey, I'm getting screwed. Like, whatever. It's very common in business. And athletes would be equivalent to this because they go from whatever they do in high school and they're making millions. Yes, a lot of them do squander. I did not squander. Not at all. It's not what happened. And of course there was money and my kids and we had a great time. No, no squandering. No.
you mentioned you didn't have any investments, right? And so when we start thinking about kind of financial literacy, like there was never a point that anyone stressed, right? Did you never have like a business manager or anybody that was stressing, hey, let's also have a retirement account, let's own some
I had a
assets?
business manager, but we never got to my invest. There were business managers, believe me when I tell you. But did I ever sit down and strategize and say, here's what I want? No. And when I found out what was going on, was it probably, you know, was I smart in realizing that they controlled all the contracts, so I could have played it a bit, not let I went home and in one paragraph fired everyone. Everyone.
Wow.
Simon & Schuster, Time Warner, managers, I just fired everyone in one paragraph. And I forgot, I had a brand new baby. I went to Seattle. I just lived. I was teaching. I went back to what I do. I was teaching exercise. I was very well known. I mean, I was still very well known, but I was teaching exercise and just doing my thing. I'm a photographer. I was taking pictures, raising my third and last child that I chose to have. And that was it. Never thinking. I just let it go. Because you know what Donna Summer said to Sony? Donna Summer said when they tried to screw her, she said, you sing on the next album. Go ahead. You got nothing. You got nothing. I just left.
Fear and loss of hope is what effectively led you to the Welfare Hotel. And so after that day, when you fired everybody with that one paragraph, kind of what transpired over the next couple months or years that affected?
The way that is easiest to see the arc of it, I didn't go from Hollywood to Harbor Island, which is the name of the Welfare Hotel. I didn't go from that in 3 years. I had my youngest son is 27. Like it over the course of years, what happens, and it is 100% financial, which is why I was so excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter it's not millions too. If you don't have the infrastructure financially, credit, health insurance, money to have enough to, forget luxury. If you don't have the infrastructure, you're screwed. Broke is one thing, Broken is another. It starts to break you. Fear starts to break you. You know, I drive for 10 hours a day delivering Uber Eats for 9 years. My shoulders started to go. My elbow started to go. My, whatever started to go. Like, that is what's frightening when you need medical or you need dental and that's where what you teach is so important because in this country now, you can't get medical or dental. There are no social services left, and you know that better than anyone. Nobody's out there going to help you. So as much energy as I have, it doesn't matter. These things are what can be fatal in your daily existence.
Let's give some advice to the audience, right? Because the one thing, and when I tell you, I talk to athletes, some of these kids are literally college athletes and professional athletes. These kids are now 18, 19, making millions of dollars.
Yep, I understand.
So to our audience, right, to someone that might be experiencing some type of financial hardship, whether they've lost their savings, their confidence status, what would you say is like a realistic, time frame of trying to actually rebuild that first year? Like, what's that mindset, and what do you think they should be doing?
I think it sounds so trite, but number one, hang the hell on. Just hang the hell on. And I mean that in a very broad sense. Number two, whatever the circumstances are, we have opportunity in this day and age where you can piece together there's all kinds of things you could do that you could never do before. Literally pick yourself up by the bootstraps, head down, just get on with it. But also reserve a very real place for fear, shame, just being defeated. I mean, I didn't rally. Well, it wasn't a big rally for me. I died 1,000 deaths 1,000,000 times. I gave up hope 1,000,000 times. I never even, if you had said to me, I'd be interviewing with you right now with a movie that just came out that's on the charts and a book that I'm so proud of, I would have told you that you were hallucinating. I'm not kidding. So it sounds really trite, but magic happened. Things are out there. Things can happen that are opportunity that can revive. And it's not just your money. It's your soul. It's your pride. It's your footing. It's knowing you're grounded. That's what's frightening. And I say that it's real. The fear is real. It's real. It's real. It's real. And it feels terrible to be unmoored. I can't do normal things. And oh my God. And when a tooth goes, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. So many stories of working with people whose lives were ruined because of basic things like losing your front teeth and nobody will hire you. And there's no way you're going to have $5,800 to fix it. So it's those things, and there was such camaraderie in Harbor Island because everybody was in the same position. And I can tell you that people in the worst positions I have found to be the most generous human beings because they know what it's like when it's your last cigarette for real.
That's what I'm saying. Your story is so remarkable, right? And here's a lot of people can't fathom what you had to do to rise to fame in the 90s, right? You don't have the ability to have autonomy, right? I was talking to some record execs as well, and they're talking about, well, man, we used to have a street team. You used to have to do this. We used to have to go to payola. We would have to go to the radio and pay. But now you could just make a song and go viral on TikTok. And
100%.
So I bring that up to say, if you were to replicate your success from the 90s and were to start over today in 2026, what do you think that looks like? Because clearly you are doing it now.
100% am. And I've decided with you, since you're from Chicago, you understand everything. I just decided. I'm like, he understands that he's from Chicago. That's going to be like, he's from Chicago. He understands everything. Here's what is the absolute truth. If I had had the internet and stopped the insanity, none of the above would have happened. That's number one. Number two, we didn't have it, but I have it now. And I'm not, what is happening now, this is the app. My idea of heaven is live, TikTok lives all the time. I'm there. My idea of heaven is me direct to camera with nobody in the middle. So one of the things I was so sad about when I didn't think I was going to make it literally is I was sad that I may never be able to do my work again. So I can do my work again, which I'm so proud of. I own everything because it's all now digitalized and I own it. I own my book. I didn't own one of 7. I see the analytics every 12 seconds. Most importantly, here's what it is. What's happening now literally makes Stop the Insanity look like dress rehearsal. I'm about to do it even bigger, and there's a little Rihanna in it. You want to hear? It's true. It's not all love, Kip. It's not all love. When I say, bitch better have my money, I am not kidding. Because it wasn't just my money. It was my children's money.
Yeah.
I'm coming back on the revenge train from hell. Let me just tell you that. And I own it. So let's go and do it again. It makes Stop the Insanity look like dress rehearsal.
When we talked about, how you were able to spread like wildfire in the 90s, right? It was authenticity.
Yep.
Remaining authentic in 2026 while being vertically integrated, owning every part of the business, right? What would you say success? How are you going to define success in 2026 and beyond now?
I want to do what I did with Stop the Insanity, mean the amount of money, and I want to double it. So it's financial. I mean, gazillions. There's the answer. And what I will do with it, which is what women do with wealth, I will do good with it. But gazillions. I want to do what I did before. That's not money driven. That's like I did it once and everybody had a great time. Now we're going to do it again. That's personal pride. I'm a single mother of 3 adult men that I haven't been able to help them for years do anything. My son put himself through law school. Like I couldn't contribute. So I want all of that back, and I want my kids' inheritance. There are real financial goals, but when I say own it, like I'm going to do a lot of tours, but I'm going to do a tour soon, and I'm doing it in an RV by myself, and I'm going to directly connect with people online and meet them in huge groups and film it, and I own the footage. That's called a TV show. I own it.
When we talked about defining success, and obviously it's gazillions, right? One of the greatest sayings, right? If you can make it once, you can make it twice, right? Being a hustler is in your blood, right? You can't, it ain't only what's in you, right? And what would you say at the height of your career, what was the most money you think you've seen in your bank account?
Oh, I don't know. That's the point. I didn't check my bank account.
Because you didn't
I
check.
know a lot. No, I didn't check. I had people. I wasn't writing checks. It was the corporation was doing and investing and buying, and there were 2 corporations. But I did, and I don't think that way even now. I really don't. I was really working like a racehorse. I'm not kidding. I was really running my family. I was loving my work and having fun. I mean, I could tell you the most prestige. I was the only woman on the Concorde. I could tell you that every hotel, it was a 5-star suite. I can tell you that everywhere I went, it was upgrades and this. I mean, everyone knew Stop the Insanity. Is that fun? Yes. But I'm not obnoxious. I mean, went to the Emmys and, blah, blah. That's not my thing. I'm not that person. I'm a very basic gal with simple dreams. I want my career back. I want gazillions, and I want to own it and control it now and do my work. Simple gal with simple dreams.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
You understand if you're from Chicago.
You better know it. I feel it.
You better know it.
You got me pumped up right now. I'm not even going to lie. I'm ready to go make some money as we speak.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Powter, I can't say thanks enough for being here, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your auntie and your cousins to watch this episode because it's actually phenomenal. Till then, see you next week. It's your boy Ross Mack here on Yahoo Finance. This is Financial Freestyle.
This content was not intended to be financial advice and should not be used as a substitute for professional financial services.